Hello and welcome to my own rolls and skipping guide. We start off by speccing the melee hand. A Dragon Warhammer or BGS works just fine. Ohm has three main skippable specials. When the head turns this way or that way, a special will occur. As you can see, once the head turns, crystals appear on the ground. These specials include crystals, lightning, and teleports. I will be using these squares to help explain where to stand. Melee or mage depending where Ohm is. Center tile. Melee or mage depending where Ohm is. And safe line. If no one is skipping, just remember, every other time the head turns, one of those specials will occur. I will be using one tile to explain, but remember, the whole roll is a melee or mage tile. Now let's get into the melee hand. It is possible to hit the hand 4 times depending on your weapon speed. Now let's get to skipping. You will be standing on or behind the safe line. Once the head turns, run to the dump. Once the attack comes and is about to hit you, run to the mage tile. Of the 4 hits, if the first one is a 0, run to the safe line. Because 2 zeros in a row means the head will look at the center. You can run to one of these 2 tiles depending on what is happening. Sometimes the hand will be clenched. When this happens, it is not necessary to skip. It takes around 10 trident hits for the hand to be back to normal. And you will go back to skipping. Sometimes when running, you will get hit with falling crystals or a poison trail. As you see, I went to the second square, so when I walk back I won't get hit with my own poison trail. You can walk it off or walk a few tiles away. When the head turns at you again, run to the mage skip tile. On the last phase, you need to kill the hands at the same time. It is still possible to skip when maging. As always, start on the safe line. Once the head turns to you, run to the dump. When the attack comes, run to the mage tile. Back to dumb and back to the safe line. It is possible to hit once each time you move a tile. This part involves lots of running back and forth, so it is recommended to bring a stamina potion. And also, be aware of your HP and prayer levels. And now run and roll. I recommend you learn what melee set and mage set is. Right after spec, tank as many hits as needed on the mage side until the head looks at you. Run to melee tile right after. As you see, when the head turns from melee hand to mage hand, a special occurs. This is melee set. Sometimes the head will look in the middle. If you want to reset it back to melee set, stand on the mage tile until it looks at you. Continue running right after. Mage set is somewhat hard to explain. Have the head look at you, tank 1 hit, and deal 2 hits. It's also possible to tank 2 hits, but still you only deal 2 hits. The goal of this is to delay the head turning, so specials happen the other way, as shown in this clip. Head turns from mage hand to melee hand and specials occur. And a side-by-side comparison of melee set and mage set. And the first 2 tiles are usually reserved for melee skippers, so try not to go on those tiles when running. And now mage hand. After spec, go to mage side. Try to stand on these tiles. So when the firewall comes, you only need to move tile over and the head will continue turning. It is possible to skip when it is mage set. Start off by going to the opposite of the head. It will be similar to the runner. 2 hits on mage side, and once the head turns to your direction, go to the center tile and hit it. Right as Ohm attacks, go to the melee tile. This will be the skip. You'll be running between 3 tiles, the mage side tile, the center tile, and the melee side tile. And finally, some tips for the final phase. If you're on this side, you can still hit Ohm with blowpipe in these 4x2 tiles. You can also use the back area to help dodge crystals. If you're on this side, you can stand in these 4x2 tiles and the head will still be turning. These tiles are mainly for blowpipe. If you have a crossbow or a T-bow, you can move further back and the head will still be turning right. Sometimes you'll get falling crystals or a poison trail. For falling crystals, you can walk a tile, hit, walk a tile, and hit. And for poison trails, it'll be easier to walk it off. And finally, as the runner, try to stay in between these tiles. Likewise, if you have a crossbow or a T-bow, you can move further back as well. And thanks for watching. Hope you learned something.